Hello, anyone, and a very warm evening to fellow panelists and everybody out here. A very interesting topic, which is AI creativity and technology redefining storytelling. In every room, in every corner today, we are talking about AI. And I think personally, the journey has begun with most of us over here has been from pixels to prompts, where we have seen, offline, online, then we've seen color grading, we've seen, social media, and now we are seeing artificial intelligence completely taking over or collaborating with storytelling. So first of all, I'll ask all the panelists over here that what do you think, how is storytelling or filmmaking actually changing in your particular aspects in terms of with the new artificial intelligence, and how are the pipelines growing, or how the work is now being happened in filmmaking? So we'll start with Anant.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. So yes, it is a hot topic, but it's a very straightforward thing, and I'm sure all the other panelists will agree. It's merely a tool, okay? AI is merely a tool. The creative part of filmmaking, storytelling, audiovisual still lies in the hands of a creator, but it is your understanding of the tool, how you use it to bring out the best. And I feel in our space where we operate at Famous Studios, primarily we've used AI a lot in the advertising side, from pre-production to storyboarding to animatics, and in many cases now part of the final production process as well. And what's really happening is brands these days, they want to go to market much faster. Their budgets to spend on 4-month, 6-month long campaigns has reduced, and brand managers and CMOs are primarily looking for quick go-to-market strategies, and that is really where AI is coming in and helping out, especially in productized videos. So that's one of the areas where we are using it to tremendous effect. Where film is concerned, we've only recently started doing some R&D, and we've obviously wanted to stay true to the cause, and none of our pipelines are just pure AI. It's a very, very hybrid pipeline that we're using, and that is something that we're now using even for a long format project in which we talks with a large OTT platform. So it's been a wild journey, but things are changing every week. So yeah, that's how we're currently using it in our pipeline.
सबसे पहले तो शुक्रिया आप सभी का यहाँ पे आने के लिए। और जैसा कि इन्होंने सवाल पूछा, बड़ा ही अच्छा सवाल है कि अब क्या हो रहा है। और जैसा कि मिस्टर आनंद ने भी कहा कि दरअसल चीज़ें तो बदली हैं, एआई से कहानी कहने का तरीका बदला है। जिस तरह से हम पहले कहानियाँ कहते थे, कहानी अब भी हम कह रहे हैं, बट अब और बेहतर तरीके से और तेज़ी से और अच्छे स्केल पे। जहां हम लिमिट होते थे अपनी छोटी सी बातों को लेके कि ये रिसोर्सेज चाहिए होंगे, ये बजट चाहिए होगा, अब हमें बजट की फ़िक्र नहीं करनी है, हमें अच्छी कहानी की फ़िक्र करनी है। अच्छी कहानियाँ होंगी तो कंटेंट अच्छा बनेगा, अच्छा सिनेमा बनेगा और लोग इसे देखेंगे। तो कहीं ना कहीं एआई इसे स्पीड अप कर रहा है और अच्छे स्केल पे, और हम ग्लोबली ऐसी चीज़ें बना रहे हैं जिस पे दुनिया हमें देखे कि भारत क्या कर सकता है। तो ये हमारे लिए अच्छा मौका है।
Hi guys, I think this is going to be a diminishing answer because most of us are calibrated in terms of what AI is bringing to the table. But I'll speak specifically from Prismix Studios. We come from a traditional filmmaking background, right? With Mr. Devgan kind of backing us. So the fundamentals of storytelling still remain the same. But how it's helping our pipeline is the ability to produce more, like he suggested. Also, the barrier that was there of going to doors with stories and figuring out if that story can be told, I think the fundamental that Prismix sticks to is, if there is a story to be told, you can tell it now. I think that's pretty much the big gap that AI is now filling.
So one thing is content creation, the other thing is content preservation. From a content preservation point of view, AI definitely helps in making sure your content is more searchable in the future when you need it. When you need it faster, for faster workflow turnarounds, that is where it can definitely help.
I think almost all of it has been pretty much said, but I can give my perspective from a filmmaking aspect, how AI is changing movies, films for the large screen. So see, technology has been used in various ways in filmmaking. Now AI has suddenly come as one tool which is automating a lot of the things that we're doing right now. And quite frankly, it's worrisome because nobody really knows what's going to be automated, tomorrow, and you're out of a job. So I think we are unlucky when it comes to technology because we're dependent on the Western civilization or outside India, and we're spending a lot of money on that. But what we have going for ourselves is our stories, our history. So what AI has helped us do is really democratize content creation and storytelling. And all the VFX artists that I see who are worried about their jobs, Roto, Paint, Match Move is something that is being automated at a large scale, and I don't know if it's going to be there as a role in the coming months. So I think artists should start getting into filmmaking, getting into how storytelling works, and learning more about it. And we should all think about creating IP and using our history, seeing what amazing stories we have, and create content around it, and do something interesting in that space. Because quite frankly, nobody really knows what's going to happen next and what's going to be automated and what lies ahead.
I almost asked that, will an AI bot come and, do this session chairing for me? And then I said, no, we need human supervision. So I thought, okay, one job is very safe right now. But coming to Anant, see, we have seen the pipelines grow at every level of disruption. And I think this is the most disruptive technology that humankind have seen up till now. And it is very volatile also because every day there's a new tool, a new platform, a new tech that is coming. How are you converging the traditional pipelines with the new AI pipelines, A1? And what kind of artists that are you looking for? Like there'll be many people in this hall right now who are wanting to know what is the new artist skills those are needed for way forward in storytelling, in filmmaking, in visual effects and all of that.
It's a very, very good question. I'll answer the second question first. Primarily, anyone who is being instructed to work on AI, at least from our end, have to have some kind of a 3D understanding. Because AI is not only creating backgrounds, it's also creating characters, assets, and unless you're not a generalist, it might take you some time to get a hold of it. And in a situation like how we are at Famous Studios, branded content, we get a brief on a Monday and they want delivery on Tuesday night. So we don't have the time to train the artist who is not a 3D artist to get into production mode, use an AI tool, and then deliver the final output. Because even once AI comes into the picture, there still has to be an element of post-production after. It could be color, it could be comp.
Sure.
So someone who understands 3D, who can actually deliver it in AI speed, that's someone we usually look for. But that being said, someone who's a roto artist, someone who's a comper, anyone else also, if they put their head down and they train on some tools with traditional pipeline, it won't take them too long to get used to it. But they shouldn't fear those tools because the fear typically comes from the amount of tools that are also available. So you might try 2 tools, it's not going to give you the result, but you might just get frustrated and be like, I'll just do it in the traditional pipeline. But that's the only experience that I can share from that side. I think in terms of pipelines, I guess you should have a strong tech team that can understand scripting, Python, I guess, all these things. There are interfaces like Comfy UI. You can.
So you have ML engineers also as part of your team now?
Actually, no. We have some people who were really, really desperate to learn AI. They themselves figured out coding and they're just doing it on their own. But that being said, the next step would be to hire a very robust tech backend because the demand that we will have from producers in terms of good quality visuals is going to get more and more. AI is spoiling the creator for choice. So sooner or later, we're going to have a very, very robust backend as a team that's managing the entire workflow.
Thank you. Vishal, आपसे जानना चाहती हूँ मैं कि कितना important है human element in AI storytelling, okay? And is emotion something which can be completely taken over or understood by artificial intelligence going forward? That is question number 1. नंबर 2 मैं आपसे ये भी जानना चाहती हूँ, जैसे आपने कहा कि हिंदुस्तान से इतनी सारी स्टोरीज हैं जो अब तक नहीं आई हैं, एंड द रीज़न फॉर दैट इज़ दैट वी नेवर हैड resources or technology or financial empowerment to our filmmakers, even if they had the vision. They never had those kind of resources to actually create it. But AI ने इतना democratize कर दिया है that today those storytelling is possible. So we want to hear that also from you.
मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल पूछा। मुझे लगता है यहाँ जितने लोग इस हॉल में बैठे हैं सबके मन में ये सवाल ज़रूर आता होगा कि एआई आ रहा है तो हमारी ज़रूरत क्या है, रिप्लेस हो जाएंगे हम, सबके मन में ये खतरा है। लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा जब हम एआई के साथ काम कर रहे होते हैं, एआई से कंटेंट क्रिएशन कर रहे होते हैं, फिल्म मेकिंग कर रहे होते हैं, तो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है ह्यूमन। बिना इंसान के कुछ भी नहीं। एआई महज एक टूल है। जैसे अगर हम 3D और VFX पाइपलाइन में आते हैं, ये सारे टूल हैं, एडोबे है, प्रीमियर प्रो है या 3D मैक्स है, किसी भी टूल को हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, लेकिन उसे इस्तेमाल करने के लिए एक इंसान की ज़रूरत होती है जो उसमें माहिर होता है, जो उसे बखूबी इस्तेमाल करना जानता है। और यहाँ पे ह्यूमन होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। अगर आप अच्छे फिल्म मेकर हैं तो आपके लिए कोई टूल लिमिटेशन नहीं है, आपके लिए आपकी क्रिएटिविटी लिमिटेशन है। और आप अच्छी फिल्में बनाना चाहते हैं, अच्छे थॉट लाना चाहते हैं, आप सोचिए, बखूबी सोचिए और बनाइए टूल के साथ। रही बात इमोशन की, तो इमोशन एआई के पास नहीं है, वो इंसान के पास है। कहानियाँ एआई के पास नहीं है, हम इंसानों के पास है। और जो हम महसूस कर सकते हैं उसे ही हम पर्दे पे ला सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ एआई टूल्स। तो ये पॉसिबल है जी।
So next I come to you, Sahil. आप लोग बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं in terms of, you know, in artificial intelligences. I can see that you are looking at education also, you're looking at other sectors as well, entertainment, and also that you have actually done a live implementation of a scene on a big screen. So I would want you to talk about all those three aspects as, you know, how are you doing all these things with artificial intelligence?
Yeah. So, you know, we spend a lot of time discussing about the use cases of artificial intelligence in mainstream media. What AI has opened up is to reach out to probably the lesser institutions like education. Conventionally, they've gone through textbooks and, you know, some form of media, right? What we realize is there's a great potential in, and, you know, Anant spoke about the fact that the turnaround times have reduced. We saw great potential in bringing storytelling to education. You know, to train large language models on textbooks, understand key themes from there. You spoke about human empowerment. So what we are doing is we're getting young directors, you know, a part of our team, we're hiring people from Whistling Woods who are directing these films for education. So that's one plug where even institutions now realize that, okay, maybe we don't have the budgets to go and shoot a film, but yeah, the moment you start to consume media in that form, because let's be honest, the kids today are all consuming Instagram. So you want to have what you call edutainment in education. So that's what we're trying to kind of build. A lot of technology integration is also happening with AI. Pretty much like Anand's team, we have got some enthusiastic kids who are vibe coding their way to create AR apps. How could you create, you know, kind of trigger a story from a storybook, which is an AI-driven story. So that's the part on the education. As far as taking it on the big screen, you know, 2 years back when we started Prismix Studios, you know, we were lucky enough to have the backing of a stalwart like Mr. Devgan. One of the first things he said is, how do we kind of make this useful for the big screen? And that's where a lot of experimentation and R&D is happening in Prismix. You know, we obviously also have a parent company, NYVFX Wala. So from an 8-bit footage, there's a feature film called Ma, where a year back we were able to kind of create a hybrid pipeline where the visuals were created on AI, layered up with VFX, gone through a DI pipeline, created an EXR, and then, you know, made it to the big screen. So that's a part of the experimentation that continues. But the use case for all, like we said, is that how do you make it usable for mainstream pipeline? And, you know, I think it's eventually going to get better from here.
Sure. So Jashpreet, with you have been talking about data. Yeah. And data storage per se, which is very important aspect. And as we are saying that a lot of data today is being used by artificial intelligence. So one is that, you know, how artificial intelligence with your aspect in terms of, you know, meta tagging, and what are the advantages that you guys offer with AI in storage of data, and how important it is?
See, gets really important. So what eventually happens is your content is going to stay appreciated in the future. Like everything else, technology and everything will change. But your content is something that is going to appreciate in the future. It's going to be of use. So to accelerate that, once you have massive data sets, once you have a lot of data inside your facility, you need some intelligent system that can you can say, tag that data properly. So human intervention might take a lot of time, but this is where AI can help. It can help with tools like speech to text, object recognition, facial recognition, emotion recognition. All of these things can help. So for example, if you're searching something down the line, something, let's say from 5 years ago, and you want it fast, so you type a few keywords and it should be able to display the data in an instant, and you should be able to download the data instantly and start working on the project right away. This is where the right application of AI can definitely accelerate the complete workflow.
Nice. And Anant, you didn't get your robot along. I was really hoping it comes on screen. Everyone's very fascinated with that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Anant, we saw something very interesting, like you bringing a great tech when it comes to storytelling or filmmaking, which is about, scanning all the celebrities and, keeping their age intact. Like they can de-age and age whenever they want. Like you can have a younger Amitabh Bachchan ji, you can have a younger Shah Rukh Khan, and you can have an older version of them. And we also saw that you did the entire body scans for Dhurandhar also lately. So, how was that experience of doing that in terms of technology? And going forward, how are you using artificial intelligence in that entire process? That's question number one. The second thing I also want to know from you is that now you see that there's a lot of deep fakes with AI and all these celebrity scans and not scans, but they can be created with artificial intelligence. And how important it is that the scanning that you are providing technologically will enhance the final storytelling of film.
Okay, so that was a lot of questions.
Yeah,
The
very
first
long one.
question, it was great working on Durandar. I think it was a great project. Very super proud to be part of it. We had Ranveer Singh come over to our studio, get scanned in the light stage. So that was incredible. See, how we're using data or AI is that we're trying to solve like these small problem statements within the filmmaking process or within the VFX process. I don't think anything is getting completely eliminated. If there are multiple aspects of filmmaking that are just getting, faster, better, and cheaper. So what we work on is basically enhancing or augmenting an actor's performance using scans and whatever data that we're capturing here. So we're training models to do that in a much better and faster way. Something like doing face replacements, aging, de-aging, any cosmetic enhancement, and even lip syncing. So these are things that really enhance a film's potential. Those are the kind of problem statements that we're trying to solve. So the use case for us in AI is not to really, completely create content using AI, but to really see how we can enhance certain processes and parts of VFX to make the filmmaking much better, faster, and more economical. So that's what we're really focused on. And I think this data that we're capturing, or deep fakes that you mentioned, it's a very powerful technology. And I mean, you can't leave, once the technology is out there, you can't do anything to stop it. It's like piracy of identity. It's been happening, for forever. So there are, these celebrities are really cautious about it. They're really scared about it, and they're taking active measures. You must have seen lately on news, all these celebrities are going to the High Court and protecting their rights. So that's happening. They're protecting their rights. People are still going to, misuse technology and use their rights in ways that are not been authorized. So there's nothing that we can do, but yes, put measures into it. And where we come into place in all of this is that we ensure that we give access to these celebrities to get the right data, project their identity in a way that they want to project, and make sure that this data is secured. So that's one of the reasons why they come to us, because they know that they can trust the quality and the security.
Very interesting. So you said something that, tech is not something which easily comes out of India, and we have been, lying and enabling or being, we always take tech from either US or from China or whatever. There are, even for us, like we at GenVR.ai has created a tech, which is completely India-centric, and we've created a very global platform. I want to know from you all, what is it that India really needs in terms of technological advancement, which are not there right now? I know this is a little different question, but on a larger level, it's very, very important that, what kind of infrastructure or support that we need, where we can also have technologically improvisation, which is so important in artificial intelligence going forward and the future of the country and storytelling and all of that. So would you like to say something?
I mean,
Anyone of
research.
you can take that. Yeah, okay. That's good.
So I feel research. I think we should all invest in research. We're a very small, boutique studio in that manner, but we've been doing research in artificial intelligence since 2020. So we have a team of AI engineers, AI ML engineers, and we've been building our own models. So there is a bit of a challenge see in India. You see, we don't have the right infrastructure. You want access to GPUs, you want access to capital, you want access to a lot of things. But I feel that everyone should have that inclination to create something, new, and not just be a consumer. We're a very consumer-driven economy, and right now what we're doing is we're consuming AI models in general. So see, there are companies who are trying to do, but it's at a very small scale. That there's nothing that really is going global from India, and that's one of the things that we really want to do. That our mission is that we want to create in India and actually export technology outside. It is challenging. It is possible, but I think that if we focus a little bit more towards research in our industry, that will be really helpful. And there are a lot of, I think, bodies being set up to consolidate and organize the industry right now. And government is also really investing in orange economy. And some of that, if it goes to research, I think it'll be really helpful for the film industry.
I think better education is also one aspect of it. Like if students are taught properly, they are taught to not learn, or they are taught to experiment instead of learning. That should be a good
Sector skill development is something that government is also trying to consolidate and put a lot of infrastructure around it as well, and resources right now. Yeah, with center of excellence being formed at various states right now to teach artificial intelligence also.
Yeah.
Sahil, you want to say something?
So it's a pivot that companies will have to take. Like, if you're a creator, you generally want to now produce faster, because the learning curve and at the speed of advancement is so fast that where do you start? It's almost like at that point. But I agree that if there's some level of incentivization, because it's an expensive thing to build, right? If there's some level of incentivization, also the fact that we hold a lot of extremely beautiful data, India, right? So if there's something India-centric, I know it's happening in the audio space with a couple of people, but maybe, if there is that little bit of niche we can build with India-centric data, then that could be a way to look forward.
We did create India's first image model, by the way. It's called Rupayan. And due to lack of funding, we were not able to take it further. But even till date, it creates the most beautiful Ram. So, yeah.
मैं वही कहने ही जा रहा था कि जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि GenVR ठीक है, GenVR इतना अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है और इंडिया से है, क्योंकि अभी तक हम सब AI प्लेटफॉर्म्स यूज़ करते हैं, चाहे वो फ्रीपिक यूज़ कर रहे हो, हिक्सफील्ड यूज़ कर रहे हो, लेकिन हम इंडियन प्लेटफॉर्म को तवज्जो नहीं देते। उन्हें लगता है हिंदुस्तान का टेक क्या ही होगा। लेकिन मुझे लगता है जो भी स्टूडियोज़ यहाँ पे हैं मौजूद, उन्हें एक बार GenVR को ट्राई करना चाहिए, क्योंकि इंडिया से कुछ अच्छी कोशिश हो रही है। जो इस तरह की कोशिशों को अगर आप लोग का सपोर्ट मिलेगा तो वो बड़ी होगी। इवन हम काल्पनिक फिल्म्स में जब हम बातें करते हैं, हमें लगता है हिंदुस्तान से ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ एक सवाल आता है मन में। तो मुझे लगता है जहाँ पे मैं जवाब देना चाहूँगा कि क्या होना चाहिए इंडिया में, मुझे लगता है हिंदुस्तान में इस वक्त ज़रूरत है अच्छे मॉडल्स की। हम अपने खुद के मॉडल्स बनाएं, क्योंकि हमारे पास बहुत खूबसूरत डेटा है। जो चीज़ें हमारे पास हैं, हमारा कल्चर, हमारी स्टोरी, हमारी हिस्ट्री, ये सारी चीज़ें अगर हमारे मॉडल्स में होंगी तो हम बहुत बेहतर रिजल्ट बना पाएंगे। क्योंकि आपको पता है कि जब भी आप इन AI टूल्स के साथ काम करते हैं, ये सारे डेटा सेट बाहर के बैकग्राउंड पे ट्रेन हुए होते हैं और इन पे इंडियन डेटा सेट मिलना बहुत मुश्किल होता है। तो कई बार आपको हिंदी के डिक्शन प्रॉपर नहीं मिलते हैं, हिंदी लैंडस्केप नहीं मिलता है, बहुत सारी भाषाएं, सिर्फ हिंदी ही नहीं, इसके अलावा ओरिजिनल लैंग्वेजेस आपको नहीं मिल पाती हैं इन सारे मॉडल्स पे। तो अगर हम इंडियन मॉडल्स और ट्रेन करें, इस तरह की ट्रेनिंग को सपोर्ट करें, और जो प्लेटफॉर्म हमारे सामने निकल के आए उन्हें हम अडेप्ट करें, रेदर देन गोइंग फॉर जहाँ पे हम $US में स्पेंड कर रहे हो, क्यों नहीं ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म हो जहाँ हम INR में स्पेंड करें, तो हमारी इकोनॉमी भी मजबूत होगी, मेक इन इंडिया वाला इनिशिएटिव भी हमारा पूरा होगा और हमारे पास अपना एक मॉडल होगा। शुक्रिया।
So I have a couple of different answers to this. Number one, I think our education system does not support research and development, even at the college level. Okay, if you compare the West or even China, China is miles ahead of India. whether we like to accept it or no, they are miles ahead. So the first thing is from a young age, or when kids are going to school or when they enter college, I think the entire education system needs to become very pro technology. Okay, what India has done very well is use other technology to create very good solutions, software, stuff like that, right? So I think for the next decade or so, where our industry is concerned, I feel, as most of the panelists have already mentioned, there are, I think, India in terms of stories, emotions, nothing comes close to our country where it comes to that type of storytelling. We should focus on our soft power. We should use these technologies, but create content that's worthy of a global scale. That's how I would look at it. And parallelly, simultaneously, we always urge the government to give a lot more incentive so that technology as an industry, not only for our M&E, but it could be for automobiles, it could be for aviation, multiple industries, requires massive push if we have to compete anywhere globally. So yeah, that's my thought.
So another very sensitive topic actually I'm going to hit now is like there's a common perception, especially with the clients going forward, is that Abhi, this is AI, so it's going to become much lesser in terms of expense. It's something which is very close to all our hearts, and that's not true. It's a new tool, but there is massive training that is required. There are massive number of alterations that every shot takes still. There is massive, putting off or tweening of that entire story together with different tools and platforms. You still need general artists. How is this studio model, going forward for filmmaking going to happen? Are studios going to remain or not? And second, just, stick to this sensitive topic as to creativity has a cost, and that will remain whether we use the traditional tools or we do artificial intelligence.
Okay, so I'll be very brutally honest about this. If any client comes and asks us to create 10-second, 20-second, 30-second clips, we charge them for it. If they don't want to pay, they can go somewhere else. It's as simple as that. I think age of offering free stuff to clients, spoiling them, and this general misunderstanding of producers कि भाई AI है तो एक बटन दबाओगे तो जो हमारे दिमाग में वो एक घंटे में आ जाएगा हमारे पास. It doesn't work that way. There is a lot of man hours that goes into this. So for example, we had recently worked on a 5-minute trailer for a theatrical. It's taken us 45 days to deliver that 5 minutes. And yes, the demand from the client was very intense, but the client has paid us for it. And I think this is also an issue that's happening with other visual effects studios. Sorry to say, but undercutting and taking work and kind of messing up the entire industry. I hope we don't do it, at least where AI is concerned. VFX, according to me, is already going downhill because of undercuts. That, yeah. But where AI is concerned, I think we should all be very responsible. And to solve this problem in a very, I would say, sustainable manner, at least what we're doing is, as a studio, we are educating our clients more with a show and tell. So we do call clients over to our space. We explain to them, look, for this particular shot, we've created a different pipeline, or for that scene is a different pipeline. So they appreciate the effort that's going into it. So another example was I visited Anant's studio at VolumX in Film City last month, and I really appreciated the way they explained how the entire process works. So if we follow a similar show and tell pattern, I think the clients who really believe in true storytelling will not hesitate to pay you the money that you should be due for the work that you're doing. So as simple as that.
Next question is to both of you, Vishal and Sahil. Storytelling today is being enhanced or rooted through artificial intelligence. And again, like I said before, we always had stories in our hearts. We always wanted to make a Harry Potter, or we always wanted to do the Lord of Rings. And as Indians, we never had those resources or that vision or those, technology to, or the financial strength to spend on those movies. With artificial intelligence, I do see that because of democratization, there is so much more, power or empowerment that is coming to an artist. how do you think that, it's the filmmakers can actually envisage their vision now through artificial intelligence? And the question is to both of you.
जी, तो मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि ये बहुत ही खूबसूरत मौका है हमारे हिंदुस्तान के लिए, जैसा कि मैंने पहले कहा कि जितने भी मेकर्स हैं जिन्हें अपनी कहानी कहने में अड़चनें आती थी, अब उन्हें भूल जाना है और सिर्फ अच्छी कहानियों पे ध्यान देना है। काम क्या करने वाला है इसमें मैंने बताया, टेस्ट आपका क्या है, टेस्ट किंग है। आप किस तरह की चीज़ों की प्रेफरेंस रखते हैं, आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग कितनी बेहतर है सिनेमा को लेके, आप कहानियाँ कितनी दिल से कहना चाहते हैं। जितनी बेहतर आप कहानियाँ कहेंगे उतना बेहतर आपका एआई टूल आपके साथ काम करेगा। तो मुझे लगता है कि अगर आप किसी के मन में भी एक चाहत है, फिल्म मेकर है और वो सोचता है यार मुझे कैसे ये बनाऊं, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि अब उसे इंतज़ार करने की ज़रूरत है, उसे कोशिश करनी चाहिए और अब एआई उसके साथ है तो वो बना सकता है। जी,
I think we run out of time, but pretty much the same answer. At the risk of repeating myself, if you have a story to tell, you can tell it now. So there is no dependency of any barriers. That's what AI is enabling.
So we'll take some audience questions right now. It's a very interesting panel, so don't miss out your chance on asking. Yes, gentleman over here.
Anant sir and all the respected juries, it's a really great honor to see you on the one dais. The thing is that my hometown, Ambernath, has started a new auditorium called Bal Koletkar and Anand Hige. And I'm seeing the line of the studio is going up, down, up, down. हे मलाही आवडत नाही आहे, तुम्हालाही आवडत नाही आहे. तर I want to ask you is that any creative AI program or the pipeline program to my hometown theater where you can get a good amount of money, because don't give anything in free. Being an Ambernathkar, I'm saying that to you. You keep the show for all the interested small to big audiences where you can explain them the pipeline of your studios and how the real work goes on. From there, you can get a good raw talent which you can turn them into the well-polished artist. If you go in that way, it will help everyone. And I really welcome you to my hometown, Ambernath. Last year we have a 10th Ambernath Film Festival. For upcoming 11th Film Festival, I want Studio like Famous to come and see my hometown technical and creative growth. Thank you. Will you do like this? I will be very happy. It's my dream.
That's, I think, more of an expression than a question to you, Anant. But yeah.
Training talent, now 80 years. I would love to speak to you. पैनल के बाद बात करते हैं और जो भी आपका प्रपोजल है हम उसको कंसिडर करेंगे और यदि टैलेंटेड आर्टिस्ट हैं तो हम 100% उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी देंगे. और बस एक और चीज़ बोलना चाह रहा हूँ, हमारे अभी रिसेंटली 20 आर्टिस्ट हमने लिए और हम उनको लिए हैं हरिद्वार से. देयर इज़ अ स्कूल इन हरिद्वार दैट इज़ टीचिंग मल्टीपल थिंग्स इंक्लूडिंग मीडिया एंड विजुअल इफेक्ट्स. वहाँ से आर्टिस्ट आए. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हम सिर्फ बॉम्बे से ही हायर करें या और कहीं से करें. हम जहाँ पर भी टैलेंट है हम उन्हें अपॉर्चुनिटी देना चाहेंगे. बट अच्छा लगा ये सुन के और थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Wow, that's really nice.
We have
and
another
amazing to know.
question.
Yeah.
Last.
Okay, there's one more question.
Yeah.
Hello, check. Yeah, hi, I'm Dhaval. I'm lucky to be here. I'm visiting from California, Silicon Valley, 30 years. Lucky to study under the father of AI, John McCarthy at Stanford. My question was, you studio folks, what are you doing in terms of collaboration with the latest stuff in the US? Are you collaborating with some studios there over like Hollywood, Bollywood type of stuff? And also in terms of things like GPU constraints, you can obviously use data centers abroad also, right? You don't have to only use data centers in India, wherever the best facilities are, right? So what are your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, a lot of the tools that we are using, some of them are American made, but I think we have enough clout in our country to do stuff here and not partner with the US. Maybe at some point we would have to. That all depends on the scale of what it is that India Inc. or you could say the media entertainment industry in India will expect or what they'll demand. There is a studio in Los Angeles right now that's Paul Trillo's. I forgot the name, but it's the ethical AI studio. So we had visited them, but we didn't sort of hear much from them after. And I think there's enough happening within the country for us to figure it out here. We don't need to go to the US right now, I feel.
We have, like I can say today, it's like a global, we have global platforms. Even with our platform, we've seen a lot of, in fact, foreign production houses work on our platform. It's the other way around as well. So,
बिल्कुल
yeah.
मैं भी बताना चाहूँगा कि हम हिंदुस्तान में काम करने के साथ साथ, जैसा कि आपका सवाल था कि यूएसए के साथ हम क्या कर रहे हैं, तो आपने ओपन आर्ट प्लेटफॉर्म का नाम सुना होगा, यूएस बेस्ड कंपनी है, तो हम उनके साथ एसोसिएट होकर काम कर रहे हैं, उनके क्रिएटिव पार्टनर हैं। साथ ही साथ उन्होंने एक कंपटीशन अभी कराया था जिसमें इन्फ्लुएंसर ऑफ द ईयर, वो एक कॉन्टेस्ट करा थे, एआई पर्सनालिटी ऑफ द ईयर, तो जिसमें 80 कंट्रीज़ ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था और इंडिया से एज अ काल्पनिक फिल्म्स हमारी इन्फ्लुएंसर ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था। वी हैव एआई इन्फ्लुएंसर्स और हम उसमें विनर भी बने। तो कहीं ना कहीं हिंदुस्तान से बहुत सारा काम बाहर के देशों के साथ हो रहा है और इंडिया लीडिंग है इस सारे मामलों में। जैसा कि मिस्टर अनंत ने कहा कि चाइना बहुत आगे है हमसे, डेफिनेटली आगे है, अमेरिका बहुत आगे है और उसके बाद हिंदुस्तान है।
Great panel, and thank you, Team Animation Express, for such a massive show, and a big shout out to you guys. Thank you.